geometry of the gateway recesses. We're going to place the seal slab for each cofferdam, which will serve as a brace for the cofferdam while we dewater the cofferdam. That brace will be in place. And then we'll install the whale struts and support piles to support the cofferdam for complete dewatering. All right. And another big, huge feature of this project is the temporary impact protection. There's a lot of temporary works that have to be constructed in order to build these floodgates. But these impact barriers, what we show here, is similar to what was constructed for the Western Closure Complex. It has not been designed yet, but we're looking at large diameter pipe piles with whales spanning the piles to distribute the load across more than one of the piles. So as you can see, I don't know if you can see that number, but during our simulations, we left a minimum clear opening in the center line of the channel of 160 feet. This is showing about 163 foot 9 inches, depending on where we place some of these impact barriers, but we will maintain a minimum of 160 feet clear opening for navigation to go through during construction. All right, so the remaining activities in phase one are our typical. It's going to be how we built sector gates in the past. We'll dewater both interior brace cofferdams, and we'll be able to construct the gateway recesses in the dry. And as we start building up the walls, we'll adjust the cofferdam bracing as required to enable to place the walls themselves. Then we'll install the sector gates themselves in the dry, make any adjustments that we need to, and then remove the cofferdam and flood the holes. And then we'll remove whatever portion of the impact barriers that are required for us to build the center portion of the gate. And this is where we're talking about our innovative construction methodology. We've gotten to a point where we know what we're going to do for this. We got to flush out some of the details, but we are not going to be dewatering this center portion to place this in the dry. We will be doing something of, we call it innovative. I know a lot of people have done float in and lift in the past, but that's not our fortes, so we're coming to you all to get help on how the best way to do this. So we're looking at that, what color is that? The colored section in the middle, beige, whatever that color is. That's the area where we'll be lifting in slabs, placing concrete underwater, or floating in place. So that's where y'all are going to come in and help us design something that's going to fit our needs for this part of the project. And with that, we're in the very beginning, so we have a lot of questions still, and we're going to lean on the contractors to help us get through some of these issues and opportunities to make this work. So the IDAC is a opportunity for us to get feedback from contractors before we move out into construction 100%, because a lot of times we'll think we know what the contractors want to do, and when we put it in the plans and specs, people come back with better ideas. So what we're trying to do is have the ideas on the table as we design these projects, and that way the construction will be much smoother and safer and hopefully less expensive, because we're taking advantage of y'all's expertise. And with that, I'm going to turn this over to Karen, our contracting officer, who's going to go a little bit more into the actual details of IDAC.
Thanks, Charlie. Good morning, everyone. My name is Karen Hargrave. For the East and West Floodgates, I am actually the contract specialist, but overall I am a contracting officer for the Project West Branch here at the New Orleans District. And today I'm here to give you all a high-level understanding of the Integrated Design and Construction Delivery Method, and as we've coined it, IDAC. So, let's first discuss quickly what determines a successful project. According to the 2011 task force between the American Institute of Architects and the Associated General Contractors of America, there are 5 factors that do this. They are the total final cost, quality of work, construction schedule, occupational safety, and meeting the original intended purpose of the project. It was also discovered that there are 5 factors that can have a successful impact on a project, and those factors are integration and collaboration, innovation, and partnership. So this slide captures the integration, collaboration, and partnering factors of success that we are hoping to attain with the IDAC, that the owner, USACE, the AE or designer of record, and as you heard earlier in this briefing, is us for this requirement, the IDAC or construction contractor, and the stakeholders, all working together during the design phase of this project. So, as most of you know, or all of you know, a traditional C-type contract, the plans and specs would be 100% complete prior to solicitation for bids or proposals, with the award of then typically a firm fixed price contract. For this project, we are planning to use the IDAC process, which is a new construction contracting method under development by USACE to maximize integration, collaboration, and partnering between the designer of record and the construction contractor during the design phase and subsequently through construction completion. The IDAC is a simplification of a more complex version of early contractor involvement, otherwise known as ECI. ECI permits award of a fixed price incentive construction contract early in a project's development through a competitive process which includes non-traditional administration, fast tracking, cost accounting standards, earned value management, and incentive earned a final delivery project. Now, the IDAC methodology is also tailored for construction. I mean, it's in the name, right? But the key difference is that the risk to the government and the IDAC contractor is minimized, as the award and execution of the construction option may only occur as a firm fixed price, similar to a traditional construction contract. Okay, so let's break this down a little bit more. With IDAC, the government would typically award 2 contracts, one to a designer, an AE contractor, or do that in-house, and one to a construction contractor, or what we call the IDAC contractor, prior to the completion of design documents, ideally as early as 15% plans and specs. The IDAC permits award of the construction contract early in this project's development through a competitive process, just like ECI. The government retains the same IDAC contractor during the design to work with the AE contractor or in-house designer to provide pre-construction phase services, such as constructability reviews and cost estimating. The IDAC contractor's pre-construction phase consultation services are firm fixed price and include then an option for the construction phase, which is proposed as a fixed price ceiling. The construction portion must be negotiated as a firm fixed price that is less than the competitively proposed ceiling price prior to the exercise of the option. The proposed option contains an initial target cost, initial target fee, share ratio, and a ceiling price, which is used to determine the final price and profit in the firm fixed price negotiations. So in layman's terms, the IDAC contractor's proposal will include a firm fixed price base contract line item for the pre-construction services, and then an option contract line item for the construction with proposed initial target price and fixed ceiling price. Once the design phase of the contract is complete, the IDAC contractor will submit their proposal for the negotiation of that firm fixed price option construction contract line item. And when the option is exercised, the contract line item will be converted to a firm fixed price with traditional firm fixed price administration. By maximizing integration, collaboration, and partnership through this innovative method, we will ideally reduce cost, crash schedule, improve overall quality with a shared risk between USACE and the IDAC contractor. All right, everyone with me so far? Okay, so let's dive a little deeper into these pre-construction services we've been hearing about, included in the base contract line item. As we've mentioned before, IDAC provides an opportunity for the designer of record and the IDAC contractor to collaborate with the owner and stakeholders to solve problems early in the process. The earlier problems can be resolved, the greater savings can be achieved by the project, and potential delays can be avoided. The pre-construction phase consultation services portion, which as mentioned earlier can begin as early as 15% plans and specs, means services that do not require performance by a registered or licensed architect or engineer, which engage the IDAC contractor during the design phase of the project, such as validation of project scope, confirmation of a schedule and budget, identification and allocation of project risks, constructability and value engineering reviews, definition of construction document packages, verification of supply chains and market analysis, engagement